Good morning, students. This is Arindam Bag here, and today we're going to continue with um, the adventure of Tom Sawyer. I already showed you this particular character map where all the important characters are placed and connected. So I told you earlier that the novel itself has around 35 chapters. So let us move to our lesson today. So we're going to start with chapter 1. So I'll give you the summary of chapter 1, and you can see this website of your own and check the analysis part also. I'm not going to provide that analysis part, or I'm not going to describe that one because it has already been there. You can see. So I need to quickly move to these 35 chapters. So here it is. Aunt Polly um, suddenly found Tom in the pantry. Pantry is a place where you keep your foods, various types of foods, including, biscuit, jams, and other things. So you found that Tom was enjoying a forbidden jam, eating actually, and she gets a switch. Tom convinces her that something is behind her. As she turns, he escapes. So Tom is very, intelligent. He knows what to do when he is in danger, and she was complaining that Tom always plays tricks on her. She is concerned whether or not she is doing her duty by him, but because he is a dead sister's child, so you can see that in Bengali what we say, um, Aunt Polly is actually Tom's যাকে আমরা বাংলায় বলি মাসি, তাই না? So he is a dead sister child, and she cannot bring herself to the hearts with him. So sometimes our parents, they can be hers to us, but it is not easy for someone like our relatives. They are unable to treat harshly with us. That afternoon, Tom plays hooky from school, and at supper that night, Aunt Polly tries to trap him. So Tom actually somehow escaped from Aunt Polly, but later on at the night, Aunt Polly was trying to trap him, uh, and reveals that he skipped the school. He didn't went to school. Tom is trying to avoid questions until Sid, Tom's brother, squelches on him. Before Aunt Polly can say more, Tom escapes heading into town. So again, Tom left. So there are two times this in the single summary, single chapter. You can see Tom initially he somehow managed to escape Aunt Polly, and at the night he also managed to escape um, again and heading into town. Tom meets a stranger there, the boy larger than himself, as per the description. And any idea who is that? Well, and dressed up like a city slicker. He and Tom get into a fight. They had a fight. Yes, the boys often do that. The better of the other boy, and Tom gets the better of the other boy and follows him home. The boy's mother appears and calls Tom bad, vicious, vulgar child, and orders him away. So they had a fight, and they followed to their home, and the boy's mother was very unhappy with Tom, and he described Tom as a bad, vicious, vulgar child. Well, this description, bad, vicious, and vulgar, you know, earlier there was a novel written by Henry Fielding, Tom Jones. So they say, or it has been described, it's a picaresque novel. So in the character of picaresque novel, they often you will find they are not very honest, and sometimes they can be vulgar also, abusive also. Sometimes they don't fit like an they don't act like a hero. It is often been found. So they are sometimes like a bit criminal in their mind. Sometimes they are funny, and they are, sometimes. they're not close to the concept of hero. They are something who are very regular. So anyway, when Tom returns home with his clothes dirty and torn, Aunt Polly decides that as punishment, he will lose his freedom on Saturday and he will have to whitewash the fence. So this is something which our family will never accept, that if you are fighting with someone and you are in a bad shape, you come back to your place. So parents will often, or rather they will be happy to punish you. This is something is very common to our life. So next, moving to chapter 2, we already know that Tom received a kind of punishment, and constructive punishment, I must say. So he was supposed to do the whitewash of the fence. In those places, fences were made of woods, and they need maintenances such as painting or whitewash the fences. So there, he found he was doing this work. So there he found Ben Rogers approaching. When Ben teases Tom about not being able to go swimming and being forced to work, Tom points out that it is not exactly work if he is enjoying himself. Now, this is something very important which comes from a boy. Punishment is not a punishment if you are enjoying it. So, kind of, he says, Tom points out that it is not exactly a work, it is not tedious to him, rather, he is enjoying it. And he makes a great show of applying whitewash and then stepping back to admire his own effects. So, he was actually creating an illusion. He received a punishment from Aunt Polly, and he was trying desperately to make it, or to present it as a matter of enjoyment, and he was successful in this matter. When Ben wants to try his hand, so being a child, Ben was very much curious that Tom is getting this entertainment, then why I'm not getting it. So sorry for this call. Please ignore this one. So what happens? So Ben was looking forward so that he might also get the same sort of entertainment, same sort of enjoyment which Tom was having. Tom pretends to be reluctant until Ben offers him the first core of the apple and then the entire apple. So Tom pretends that no, I do not want to lose my part of entertainment. You better go away. But at that time, Ben offered something. Ben offered a piece of apple. Then other boys also showed up, and they all of them, they were they wanted to do the whitewash because they thought that it is a very matter of entertainment, sort of entertainment they can do. They can enjoy this work. So Tom was successful to create this atmosphere, and a lot of boys participated there, and he allowed those boys, after getting something from those boys, such as toys, sometimes coupons from the Sunday school. So he collected all this, and by the afternoon, the fence was completely whitewashed. The work was completed. Tom find himself a rich man. Yeah, he collected so many things like marbles, a part of Jew's harp, a kite, many other items, payment from the boys doing the work. So this is how he managed. Now we are moving to chapter 3. And in chapter 3, what we have? In chapter 3, we have Tom first sees Becky Thatcher. Yeah, the heroine of our story. Though already know that she is not the first girlfriend of Tom. So, although he doesn't know her name yet, to attract her attention, he begins a series of outlandish and absurd show-offs to little Abel. That's what boys do to get the attention of their, desired woman. They always do this kind of show-offs. At supper that night, when Aunt Polly is out of the room, Sid accidentally breaks the sugar bowl. Tom is pleased because now precious Sid will be punished, and when Aunt Polly sees the broken dish, she whips Tom until he points out that Sid broke it. So you can see there's been a kind of rivalry with Sid. They're always pulling their leg. They were always trying to put each other in a difficult situation. So accidentally, when Sid broke the sugar bowl, Tom immediately knows how to use it against Sid. So, but Tom has his own reputation, and Aunt Polly immediately when she saw that the sugar bowl is broke. It has been broken. She immediately start beating Tom because she was quite confident this kind of activities, this kind of destructive activities can only be done by Tom only. So he was punishing at that time. Um, Tom points that Sid broke it. Although Aunt Polly is sorry, she claims that Tom has probably done something deserving of a belting. But sometimes our seniors, where they have their egos so much big. Sorry for the disturbance. Anyway, so sometimes it happens that our seniors sometimes they do wrong. When they realize they are doing things wrong, they don't even apologize. Rather, they say, "You must have done something to get this treatment. You deserve it." So, being unjustly accused, Tom thinks how sorry his aunt would be if he were dead and imagines Aunt Polly begging for his forgiveness as he is dying. Being a child, it is a psychological part here. He realizes that if I die, will Aunt Polly cry for me, or will Aunt Polly beg for forgiveness? He works himself up so much that he has to go for a walk, which leads him past the Thatcher house. So he went out, and Tom was passing the house of Thatcher, the very girl he met. And in his present frame of mind, he wonders if the lovely young girl would mourn his death. Even he was thinking that if I die, this Becky Thatcher, whose attention he was looking for, will she cry for her? So kind of emotional stupidity we can see here. He throws pebbles against the window and is drenched by a pail of water being thrown out. Yeah, when he tried to do something like that, he threw a stone to Becky Thatcher's home, and immediately there was a bucket of water. It was, thrown at him. He was completely drenched. Dripping wet, he goes home and to bed and skip his prayer. No one except Sid observes his omission. So he went back to his place and skipped his night prayers. And only Sid observed this entire incident. So we're moving to chapter number 4 and 5. So on Sunday morning, Tom struggles to learn his Sunday school lesson with the help of his cousin Mary, who offers him a present if he can learn the lesson. So Sunday school is a religious school where children are brought in and their religious scriptures are described before them, and it is expected that they will remember. It's like memory game. You are supposed to memorize all those lectures, all those religious ideas which are told in Sunday school. Sunday school is just a Christian religious school. Tom applies himself, and he was desperately trying to learn all those things. And there is a cousin we can see here whose name is been mentioned as Mary. He was looking some kind of help from him. Tom applies himself and soon has it mastered. On the way to church, Tom swaps item for tickets indicating how many verses in the Bible he has memorized. Now, back in those days, to encourage students, tickets were issued. Those who perform well, tickets were issued to them, showing that how great their memory is, how they're honestly doing things, memorizing things. So they used to collect these tickets as a matter of it's kind of certificate. It's small, and they used to collect it, and at certain time, those boys were called out, and those tickets, those whoever collects most number of tickets, were praised or appreciated. So due to that white was incident, Tom somehow managed to collect many tickets. So Tom collected some of them were bought of so many tickets that it would appear that he has committed around 2000 verses to memory. So I'm been I don't know what happens when I'm busy with activities like this. A lot of people, we see that 3 calls appeared there. So around 2000 verses to memory. That means the number of tickets were so huge that it appears he has memorized 2000 verses. A feat no student has ever accomplished. In Sunday school class, Tom claims the award of a Bible for knowing so many verses. So he has been awarded that from those tickets. It has been proved that he memorized at least 2000 verses. That's why he has been awarded as a Bible. It was a prize Tom is then introduced to Judge Thatcher, who happens to be the father of Becky Thatcher, who asks him the name of the first two apostles, and Tom blurts out David and Goliath. So he asked a very simple question to Tom, but he was unable to do so, and he mentioned something wrong, some wrong name. The monotony of the church is broken by a large black beetle that finches a dog, causing it to clamber up and down the aisles like a rocket. The dog then lands in its master lap, and the master tosses it out the window. So at that time, what happened? There was a incident, and the very situation was dismissed. That Tom was asked some Judge Thatcher. He asked a question to Tom, and he didn't answer it properly. Still, he uh, he created a situation where everybody scattered, and this chapter ends here. So thank you for watching this, and I hope you get some good idea of from chapter 1 to chapter 5. I tried my best to explain the things in a proper manner, though I've been disturbed several times. 4 times I've been, people called me. I don't know what's the emergency there. So I need to go. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe my channel. I watched that only 50% of my subscribers, the viewers, among the viewers, only 50% are subscriber. I urge you, please subscribe my channel. Thank you.